Hi everyone, welcome back to Tableau training campaign. Today's video will be session number 4, where we are going to cover all what you need to know about dashboards in Tableau, how to create dashboards in Tableau with all the details, all the information you need to know to have a very solid, clear, useful dashboard. Initially, we'll be starting with some introduction about what kind of information you have within the dashboard, how to use this kind of information. Then we'll build quickly a dashboard using the existing multiple sheets. For example, in bottom down here, I have already created multiple sheets, and these were already created in the previous three videos. So in case if you are new, this is your first time to watch this session, you can go back to the channel, find the playlist for the Tableau training. You can watch the videos and even you can download the materials directly from the blog, and you'll find the related links for this blog within the video description. Then once we build the dashboard, we'll make it interactive. Either using filters or highlighting. Interactive means, for example, if I have different charts within the dashboard, I would like these charts to have kind of interaction between each other. For example, if I selected the specific information within one of the charts within the dashboard, it should be filtered or being reflected in the other. It's kind of on-fly filter. I will be explaining this one whenever we go through the dashboard creation. Then I will be explaining something called tiled and floating and containers, how to use them and what are the differences between all of them. And for me, this is kind of the fundamental, solid information you need to know about the dashboards, because this is will make it more easy for you to create to easily or to make it more flexible whenever you create a dashboard, to make it very clear and very solid to get whatever information you would like to get from the dashboard. Then we'll be ending by some quick tips just to make your dashboard again more solid, clear, or more insightful. So now let's move to see what we have. So actually, the plan to get something similar to this dashboard. That, for example, we have here a table, we have some charts, we have 4 charts here, we have filters on the right side, we have some legends within the map, we have some logo images uploaded in the top here, we have some specific text added here and there. So this is our plan to have this one. Again, to quickly recall what we just explained about the interactive. Interactive again means if I'm clicking in any information within any of these charts, it should be directly reflected in the other one. For example, let's try to select in the map here. Select a specific area. I will write like this one. See, once I leave the mouse here, the remaining chart should be updated based on the selected information. See, once I click it here, let's see. See, now it's processing. Now all these information being updated now. And now it's reflecting only these particular points in the map. And these points, just if you click here, it's each point reflecting a specific site, as you can see from the tooltips here. So this is the meaning of interactive. When you build the dashboard for the first time, it will not directly be interactive like this one. You need to do some actions to be able to have it interactive, and you can even make it very specific, like this chart to control all the charts. And for example, when you click for example, if I click in this area, for example here, this one, it will do the same story. For example, I did it like this one, it will be reflected in the remaining as well. See, just filtered because I selected the gray area, which is December, so it's selected only this area, and here it's just filtered all the other information. So we can interactive make it for example, to make some charts not to control any of the others. When we do filters, it will not impact any others, or you can make it all can control all. This is I will explain also how to do this one shortly as well. But this was the meaning of the interactive. Now let's move to a blank dashboard to show you how it looks like once you created a blank dashboard, and what kind of information we have before we start. So the first part you need to know is how in general to open a blank dashboard. So if you look into the bottom right here, there is this icon here, this specific one, this one in the middle. Yes, this one. This is actually telling you that this is a dashboard creation. So if you click this one, Now we have the blank dashboard, as you can see here. Everything, we don't have any information, but we just need to explain what we have before we start building something. If you look into the middle here, this area, this is actually where we are going to have our charts. Drag and drop your charts here, it will start building your dashboard. But you'll see the first main differences compared to whatever we just presented in the dashboard, the ready dashboard, that our dashboard was almost covering the complete area, right? Which is this one, while this one is just covering a small one. The main reason for that part, that if you look into the top here, there is top left here, there is a size. This size, actually, if you click this size, you'll find that you can even make it a specific size based on your requirements. For example, if you'd like to add a background image, this background image have a specific size, so you can match it with through the giving a specific size here. Or you can click in ranges here, this range part, you'll find three things here, even fixed size or automatic. Usually I do it automatic. Once you click automatic, you will see that now it's just giving complete dashboard. So this is the first part here. Once you start dragging and drop here, it will start building your dashboard. So this was the first part here. The second part, it's about here, the sheets you'll find. Again, dashboards in Tableau means it's kind of a dashboard combines multiple sheets, which were already created before. For example, down here, you find that line chart is already created here. Again, scattered charts here again. So any sheet created in the Tableau, it will be reflected in this area. So this is actually the meaning of dashboard. Dashboard combines multiple views or sheets, charts, maps, KPIs, cards into a single interactive interface, which allow us to have more useful insights. So this is all the created sheets previously. So the main idea that once you drag and drop here, it will start building the dashboard. We'll do this one shortly. The second part about what we have within the complete dashboard here, it's about this part in the bottom left here, which is called objects. Let me remove this one, which is called objects here. This one, it's very important. We just concern more about these five, which is the first three: horizontal container, vertical container, text, and image and blank. I will explain each of these. This was a practical training, as you will see shortly as well, once we start building this part, and also I'll explain all the meaning between all of them. Here as well, in the same part here under this dashboard, you'll find something called down here tiled and floating. And tile and floating, what is the main difference between all of them? It's very important as well. Tile means that it's just when you drag and drop any chart here, it will just start doing automatic slotting for your dashboard. For example, if I drag and drop this line chart without clicking anything, it will start doing the line chart. If I would like to drag and drop another one here, you will find that it's line doing a slot. So for example, here it's highlighting in the gray. Here it's here I would like to drop it on the top or in the left here or on the right side here. So once, for example, let's say I would like to drop it on the right. See, it will automatic shifting the other one to the left side. So this is kind of a slot. Again, if you drag and drop this one down here, it will again shift this one again down. Same if you continue like this one, it will be same. For example, you quickly build it at a dashboard, as you can see. Let me clear all of this. Okay, then, but this is the mean of tile. It's just dividing your dashboard into automatic slots. While the tiled one, let me clear all of them first. While the floating here means what? Means that you have the full control about where to drop your charts. For example, I would like to take this line chart in a specific area. So you will need, what you need to do if you want to activate this floating, you need to click Shift, then click in the chart and move it to the right. If I drag and drop here, it's fine. Now I left the Shift. Wait, let me take it again. Shift. Yes. Now see, you are free to place it anywhere, even the legend. Before it was automatic coming to the right side. Now, no, you can drag and drop and do it automatic manual. I mean, manual drag and drop and do whatever you want. But this might take some time because you need to do a formatting and just resizing here and there. So it's not recommended to directly go with the floating, but floating must be used as well. And I'll explain when to use it. to make your dashboard much better. But this is are the main differences between tiled and floating. So now let me remove this again. Okay, to explain the last part here we have. So the best part here, if you look into the top left here, you have dashboard and layout. We're already in the dashboard. If you click in the layout here, under this layout, you'll find that you have border, you have background, you have outer padding, inner padding, and item hierarchy. Once you start building your charts here, this hierarchy will start getting information. Let's give you a quick information. For example, I will drag and drop this one here, and I will drag this one here, for example. So now if I go to the layout, you'll find under this layout, you have tiled, right? Under this tile, you'll find horizontal container. And this is the complete one, this complete container. It's automatically created by the system. Once you drag and drop tiled automatic creator containers, you'll find that this is now. So for example, if you open this horizontal, you'll find another one called tile. And under this tile, it's having you two charts. If you click here, it's showing you line chart. If you click again, it will highlight the other scatter chart. While the vertical container is for the legend. The system automatic create a vertical container for the legend. If you have any chart with a legend and you drag and drop this chart, there will be automatic vertical containers being created, and it will contain all the legends over there. Okay, so this is how it looks like for the layouts. What is the important part to highlight here? That, for example, usually when you create your dashboard, you would like to make kind of a border for each of your charts or containers to make it like to be able to segregate different container or different image, or to make it more clear. For example, if I click into the vertical container, which is the one on the right side here, I would like to add a layout. So sorry, a border. So I would need to click here, that the border here, then I'll make it, for example, more width, increase the width here, then I make it like this one. You'll find now, if you click here, now it's very clear that this one is a vertical container, right? Same for the horizontal, for example. You have one horizontal, which is containing the complete area. If I again go to this one, make it like this, and for example, make it like this. Just as an example now. See, now it's highlighting the complete area because the horizontal container is containing everything under it. Okay, and you can even give a background image or a background color. For example, see, now it's highlighted by orange once I click here for the container, right? So let me remove all of this. Let me remove all of this, and now and this is all that you have about the dashboard. Now let's start building our dashboard to get something similar to this one here. So the first part I would like to do, usually I like directly to start building my own using my own horizontal vertical container from the beginning, but I will use the normal way around, which is directly drag and dropping the charts without doing anything. Then the second method I will show you the best way whenever you build a dashboard. So the first part, for example, I would like now to start building our dashboard. So if you hover over the sheets, it will show you what kind of content we have. For example, this is a map. It directly shows you what kind of information within this map, right? Which we have a map. So I need to drag and drop this one. I drag and drop it here. So just now you'll find now under this map, you have in the right side here, you have again a vertical container, and the complete one here, you have horizontal. A vertical container, as I highlighted, whenever you have a legend, it will directly come into the vertical container on the right side here. So this was the first part about the map. Now I'd like to drag and drop, for example, a line chart down here in the bottom. So it will take as a tile, it will just take a slot, and you can modify whatever size you would like to drag on. But for now, I'll not do any modification. Then after doing this part, I would like now to drag and drop the remaining things, which is, for example, the CDF. So I would like to drag and drop in the right side here. Now it's coming here. It will directly shift the other one. And the last part, for example, the benchmark at bottom right here, right? And if you remember, we used to have a table comparison. So once we drag and drop here, see, if you drag and drop it, it will divide this one. Or I would like to have it in the top, very top here. So just look into the background gray highlighted area. You'll find that the background gray highlighted area, this is where your information will be plotted. For example, if I drag and drop here, you'll find now this is coming under a separate horizontal container, but it's taking a very large size. So it's squeezing or decreasing the size for the other chart. So what you need to do, simply, You just click in the container, and this three the dash, this is where, for example, you can move back and forth. This is just, for example, if I click here, this is mean this is for your chart. If I click here as well, you'll find this three, the top one here in the middle. This is means this is you already selected the chart. So now I'd like to reduce the size. So just drag and take it above here. So now see we have decreased this one. One part as well to highlight. If you would like to add a title for your chart, your dashboard, you have down in the bottom left here, show dashboard title. Dashboard title will take the name of your dashboard, which is now dashboard 6. So, for example, if I make like this one, I'm expecting to get yes. As you can see in the top here, you have dashboard title, which is called dashboard 6. You can, for example, rename it as whatever you like. For example, I'll call it YouTube session 4 dashboard. Then I will make it bold. Then, for example, I'll make it 20. Then I make it, for example, in the center here. So I'm expecting to come now in the bottom, in the top here. Okay, formatting I will explain in the very end. So actually, this is all the information which we have already in our previous created uh, dashboard, except with some fine tuning. So for example, if I go back to this dashboard here, you'll find that here we have the same information, 5 charts, right? And then the right side, we have some filters. I didn't add it yet. And you'll find that, for example, the legend in the middle here. I'll explain all this, how to do, and you have some edges and so on. But before doing through the formatting and these kind of things, I would like to explain first the important part. For example, now we have our charts. So now we would like to have to make it an interactive dashboard. So interactive dashboard means if I clicked in anything, for example, in the map here, if I filter a specific area, I'm expecting that this should be reflected in the others. But you see now, once I click anything here, there is nothing happens. Okay, so this is actually where the most important come in the dashboard creation. It must be an interactive to have a very solid or a very good insights whenever you create a dashboard. So how we can do this one? There are 2 methods. Method number 1 is quite easy. For example, now we would like to do it an interactive. For example, I would like this map to control all the remaining information within this dashboard. So for example, I would like once I click on the map, it's just to be reflected directly, right? So how we can do this one? So for example, now in this current scenario, if I select anything, there will be nothing here, right? So the first method, which is a quick and easy one, you'll find once you click in any of these charts, for example, the map here, I'm clicking this one here, it's highlighting here, this one, you'll find this icon here. It's called use as a filter. Once you click this one here, let me click it. You'll find now it's being filled. Now it's used as a filter. So I'm expecting now once I select, for example, here this area only, it will be reflecting the remaining slide, remaining charts, all of them, all of the information being changed. You find this one become only East region, this city if you change it, this all these numbers being changed. For example, the count of sites here is 3 because I selected only 3 sites. Same if I selected one site, for example, here. You'll find again that one side and the information again changes, right? So this is the most quick one, but the main idea now, it's not it's like, for example, if you would like to do the control through the other charts. For example, I would like to select a specific dates here, this area. So I'm expecting if I selected this area, it should be reflected in the remaining, right? But it will not, because in this case, if you would like all of them to have a control all over each other, you need to go and click again, as I did for this one, to use as a filter, okay? And one important part, as again in method 1, or in general in this area, in this interactive dashboard, we're using actions. Let me first click here, just to get this one out. Okay. For example, now when I select this one, it will be changing everything, as you will see again. So what if you would like this action not to reflect in a particular chart? For example, I would like this one not to reflect in the table on the top here. So let's move this one again and show you how to do this one. If you would like the action, this one not to be reflected in the other, you need to click here. And with this, within this one, once you click in the area or the table or the chart where you would like not to be reflected by the actions or the filter within the for example, the map, you need to click in the here. And then under this icon here, it's called more options here, as you can see, this one. You click here, you'll find that under this one, there is something called ignore actions, right? This one, ignore action, this one. So ignore actions mean that any action being done, for example, here. So now I have 1000. Let me, before doing this one, we have 1106 sites, right? So I'm expecting once I select 3 sites, for example, here to change in the top figure, right? But now since I make ignore actions, all the charts will be changed except the top one and the top here. So let's click and see. See, everything changed except this one because you make it no actions. Okay, so this is the first method that you can use to create your interactive dashboard for the filter part. And this is the easiest one directly to go and filter, but you need to do this one for each one of these in case you would like to have the same from the previous chart as well, right? So so now, for example, we did some actions. I clicked in this one, I make it as an action. So now in general, you can do the same interactive action through going in the top here. This is method number 2 for creating a dashboard. This one, you need to click to go to the dashboard on the top left here, click it, okay. Once you click it, you will find under this one there is a call actions, right? Which is Control Shift D. You can also use this kind of shortcut. Then under actions, you'll find there is already two things being created here. After done one filter called action, the action called filter, if you click this one and the other one as well. This one related to the source, which is you find that under this one there is called YouTube session for dashboard, which is this one. This is a name. This is just highlighting. This is a filter under which dashboard. So this is not related to what we're doing now, right? What related to us is this one, which is file one generated under dashboard 6, right? Which is this under to the name. So the source is the dashboard name. Remember this part. So you have now this one. So this is the one we just created. So I need to see what was created here. Click here and make edit. You'll find under this part there is a source sheets, there is target sheets. So our target that we would like when you click in a specific chart, for example, the map, to control all the remaining or to control a specific chart. So you find under this one, the map is being highlighted and this one is being selected. So this means if you selected any information within the map, it will do on-fly filter on the remaining charts, which is highlighted down here. For example, here we have 3 only, right? This 3. So this one means that if you click map, it will filter all the on-fly filter for all the benchmark, line charts, and map. But it will do nothing for the table comparison because a table comparison at the end it doesn't have this kind of tech, right? Because we ignored the action, if you remember. And you have here different things here. Clearing, for example, show all values. So once I do the filter, it will show all the values, or you can keep the filtered values, or you can exclude all the values. For example, if I selected an area, I click exclude area values, so it will show everything except the selected area. For example, let's do this one here. I will do exclude all values. So once I do exclude all values here, what I'm expecting to get, if I'm selecting, for example, let's assume in the map here, I would like to select all the red color, which is the east area, okay? Sorry, the red color, which is north area. So I need to only select this one. So I will just go to the map, click lasso selection. I will just select this one here, okay? So I'm expecting that everything will be presented except this one, right? Sorry, I meant that once we select, for example, this specific area, I selected one side from, I think, from the central and only north. So it will keep central and north only, okay? Even if I remember, if I go back to the dashboard here, I give it as action for the actions. I give it, if you make an edit here, you'll find I give exclude all values. Actually, this is usually don't use it. Usually use show all values. I'll show you why. Because now see what will happen. Once I click, now I have the filter. Once I do the filter, it's showing you this area, right? Once I click out here, I will remove the filter from the map. See, nothing here is being appearing. But because what will happen if you click in the chart here and go to the here to go to the sheet, you'll find that this one is already showing that the filter which is being done already there. It's already there, and this filter is still excluding. Select 0 of 1000 because here, see, I selected nothing, right? I selected here nothing. So that's why. For example, I selected one side, it will be show only one side. So this is the main problem. If you did any click in the map, it will show nothing here. So if you would like to get all the information again, you will need to do the click on the complete map here. So for example, I click like this one. I can do like this if I would like to get. So it's just saying that exclude all values. So if you click in any site, it will exclude all the values within the information. So that's why it's not. For example, if I'm clicking here outside, I didn't select anything. It will just select nothing. So better all the time to go to the dashboard here when you take an action to make sure this dashboard creation for the action to make sure it's selecting this show all values. Okay. And the opposite way around for the key filter value. For example, if I make this one key filter values, it will keep it all the time as filtered when you select it. When you click again back in the chart or try to remove the filter, it will not be being able to remove it. So better all the time to do this one, show all values. So again, this is the second method. I would like map to control the others. If I would like all to control all, so I need to click again here, select all, right? And also select all here. So this means if I did any filter in any of the maps or any of the charts, sorry, it will be reflected in all the charts. So let's see. So for example, now I highlighted everything, right? So if I click these specific days, I should see a filter in the remaining, all the remaining, except the map for sure, because this is including all the sites at the end. So see now, you have the values here being filtered again. So for example, if I clicked only this date, one day, see, it's just giving you one day here and giving you the gray area here, which is similar to this one, which is called other, right? So if I click out here again, I will get it back. So now you have all your information back. So this was the second method for the actions. So you can either, just to quickly recap, do it through this one, but you need to do it one by one. But the best way for me to go through the actions here, because it's giving you solid, clear what you are doing exactly. From the top left dashboard, you make an edit, add an action. But how you do this one from the beginning, from scratch, because it was there because we already did it. We did it in one, so I will remove it. You need to click again. Let's start from scratch for the second method. You need again to go to the dashboard on the top here, go actions. Under actions, you'll find add action here. You'll have two methods, either filter or highlight, as I will explain short about the highlight. So if you click filter, now you can, for example, showing dashboard 6, all the source sheets. I would like all the source sheets to control the target sheets. But remember, to make this one as a select, I need to select, and to make this one as a show all values. Remember this. This is very important. These two, keep it all the time like this. Select and keyboard values, and here you control it based on whatever you would like to do. This is feel free to do whatever based on your needs or requirements. So usually I prefer this method. So this was the explanation of how to make an interactive dashboard. It's very similar for the other part, for the highlight, interactive through highlight. Highlight means that when you click on something, it should highlight a specific dates or a specific area, as I will show you now as well. So let's now move to the second part, which is around creating interactive dashboard, but using highlight, not using actions. And again, highlight, we don't use it. We usually use actions most of the time. So what I have done, I have removed all the interactive actions and everything now. So for example, now if I am doing here, selecting now, I'm expecting nothing will happen. So now I would like to have an highlight, okay? Just highlight. For example, if I selected these dates here, I'm expecting that these specific dates should be highlighted here because both of these two charts have a common thing, right? Have the dates. The others doesn't have any common because this one is combination of 4 days together, and this one just containing all the sites. So I'm expecting now in this particular dashboard, if highlighting this area, I'm expecting that it will keep everything, but it will just highlight in this specific area. So how you can do this one, which you're having interactive through highlight, again, same method, exact same method. Go to the top left here, dashboard, actions. Then under actions, you need to add action here, same as we have done before. Then you click highlight, okay? Once you click highlight, you need to select whatever you want. For example, keep it over. You have two methods, either hover over. For example, if you just move the mouse, it will be highlighted, but we usually don't use this one, or menu or select. We just use the select one. So now I will just to do all through all, just keep it as it is. And this usually you do it based on your requirement again, whatever you would like to do, but now I'll keep it all. So now what I'm expecting before, if I was, for example, selecting a specific area, it will filter all the charts based on this, do on-fly filter based on this kind of filter, right? But this time, if I click, for example, this area, see what will happen. This is not coming anymore because just see it's not highlighted because again this one um, has no relation with, with this information because this again sites, but this one dates. I just highlighted dates here, so we'll find that here in this area in the left side here, right? It's being highlighted, right, for this specific dates only, while the remaining become as not very solid as you can see. Just they highlighted the area where I just selected here, right? Exact same dates from 12th of January, for example, till 20th of January. But again, we don't usually use the highlight one. We usually use the action part. So now let's continue with the part related to the formatting and doing the tips and going for the tips and so on. For example, if I go back to my dashboard, the original one, you'll find that here we have an image on the top right here. We have a filter icon here or filter name. We have the filters here. We have the filter on the right side here. I will add it as well. And we have this kind of name as well, and we have this kind of spacing between the charts. So how we can do all of this, how we can try to get something similar to this one. First of all, I would like to do this kind of quick formatting. So if you would like to do a quick formatting, you need to go on the top here, and instead of doing one by one, go to this formatting on the top, very top, as you can see here. Just click it. Then you'll find the under dashboard. Click in dashboard. Once you click in dashboard, you'll find that dashboard shading, dashboard title. So the title, which is this one, YouTube session 4 dashboard. So for example, this is a bold. I would like to make it bold. So it will make my title bold here. And the center here, it's already in the center. So for example, shading, I would like, for example, to make it a dark here. So I make it dark, as you can see, dark gray. If this is for the now the worksheet titles. So each worksheet titles, I would like as well to do kind of background shading. So I will just click here. So you'll find all of them being directly changed. So better all the time to do it from the top here, remember, and instead of doing one by one. And again, I'll go to the font and make it bold here. Okay, so bold, and you can even change the color if you'd like. So if you change the color, it will be changed for all of them. But again, I will just keep it now for now as black. Okay, so this is the first part. Now the second part, I would like, for example, to import a logo or image or whatever and beside the dashboard on top here. So I will just close this format dashboard, close it here from here, then close it. Then go to, again, if you remember in objects, we didn't yet discuss the horizontal vertical containers. We discussed it, but not yet in details. So we have here the image. So you need to drag and drop it. But if you drag and drop it directly, this will cause a problem because it will kind of contains or come apart. For example, if like it will take a large space here. And this is not what I would like to do. For example, here it's opening now, edit image object. I would like to be kind of free to put it anywhere. If you remember, I highlighted there is kind of called fluting, and this is one of the function we can have for the fluting. So I would like to drop this one and overlap it within the image on the top here without taking any space. So I would like to have it overlapped without creating any containers or a slot. So I'll just click shift in the image, shift, then left side, then I take it above here. So once you do this one, you'll find you can place it anywhere now, and it will be overlapped. So now, once you drag and drop this image, it will give you insert image. So I will choose a file. I will take, for example, I will select this one, Adawi logo. Then once I click here, I will click apply. Okay, so now it's coming like this, right? You can just play around with the size. For example, take it here, remove it above here, and for example, reduce the size as you wish here, for example, whatever size you would like to do. But the good point about the fluting, you can place it anywhere. This was the first part. Second part, for example, as I highlighted before, whenever you drag any chart to the dashboard here, what will happen? The legend, if this chart have a specific legend, the legend will automatically being created within the vertical. It will be created within the vertical container, right? So I would like this legend, for example, this one is using a specific legend, which, for example, the region. I would like this legend to be within the map, and instead having here separate in the vertical, because if I have a lot of legends here, I would be confused which one for which one, right? So you can just again use the fluting bar as I highlighted before. So what we need to do, you need to convert this one into, instead to be within a container, you need to convert it to a floating, right? So you can do it either, again, as we did before. Click, for example, here, then shift, then you directly take it here and move it here. So once you do this one, it will be overlapping here. So now it's, and you can even reduce size here. And the same, for example, this one is part of the map as well. You can just click here, then take these three dashes or two dashes here and take it here. So now you know that this particular legend is related to this map, right? And the same, let's just move it here. And the same for the remaining. For example, I can take this date groups, for example, under the CDF. So you can even, again, as I mentioned, shift and drag and drop, or right click. Once you click it here, left click, then you just right click here, then you just ask him to make it as floating. So it will directly going to the floating. So you can just shift or just directly making this one. This one actually is related to the bottom benchmark here. Sorry, related to the line chart. So this one, for example, again, let's do it, shift and move it here, for example. But now I move the complete container. Let me take it back. Okay, this one you can move it again here. But once you do this one, the container will be gone. So I need to keep this one for now because this one have a container inside. I don't want to take the container out. I need the container to stay remain. So I need the container there for the meantime. So this is how you can place the legend, or what is the use case of floating to keep it overlapping, for example, to have this kind of information within the map. Now, the part which I would like to highlight as well, which is very, very important as well, if you would like to add an additional filters to filter something within the map. For example, I would like to filter directly based on the region. So click any of the charts, for example, and I click in this map. I will click in this more options. Under more options, you will find filters. Okay. Under filters, you'll find already many things being created here, which is called, and this is whatever information within all the charts, it will be being shown here. For example, you have site ID, I have a region, I have many things, right? Or you can just click here and go back first to, if you want to get something specific, you go back to the sheet, click here, go to the sheet, it will take back to the sheet. So I would like, for example, to add a specific filter here. So I would like to add a specific filter based on region. It already exists, but just in case. So I would like to add this one, for example, here. I would like to take this one and add it here. Okay. So here, this one. So example, I will tell him, yes, select all. And let's rename this one. Or let's keep it as it is. Just keep it as it is, all filters. Okay, now I have this one. But before doing this one, if you would like this filter to be applied for all the information within the dashboard, for example, this filter now is only applicable for this map. So let's add it first and see what I mean. I will click here, go to the filters, then I will add the region one, which I just added now. See, once you add the filters, it will automatically being placed in the vertical horizontal. Okay. So now if I, for example, is filtered here in, let's say, central, it will be reflected only in the map. Why? Because simply whenever you do a filter, you need to make this filter interact with all the, click here, you'll find that under this filter, there is from here, apply to worksheets. As you can see, second one at the top here. This one only for this worksheet, which is related to the maps. But in this case, I would like to add it all using related data sources or using the all using this data source. So I will use the first one because I have two sheets together. You can usually use first one or second one. So now I will just click this one here. See, now it's have nothing. If I click in the one region south, now the filter is working very fine now. You can add additional filter. For example, let's add additional one just to show an example. So for example, if I'd like to add now the additional filter, I will click here again, then I will click more options. You can do this from any chart, not specific on this one. Here, I'll click this one, then I'll go to the filters. Then for example, I will take the site ID here. So it will directly again placed here, but you'll find that it's showing all the sites. I need to change the format for this filter first. So I need to click here in this one. Then I click in more options. Then you can change as we highlighted in the previous sessions, you change how you would like to see the filter. So for example, I needed multiple values, but drop down menu. So now it become like this one. Drop down, you can select whatever you want, and multiple values as well. For example, I can select, let's say, two sites only, the first two, 1000 and 1001. and this one as well. So now it's showing two values here, as you can see. And remember, again, I did this filter. Remember, this one you must confirm that it's being applied for all sheets, as you can see, all using related data source or all using data source. So that's why it's impacting all. So now let's clear it out. So this is a part related to this one. Now let's see the use case of the layouts. Layouts, which is the top left here. Let's I highlight something. Let's move this highlight. This one in the top here, right? Layout. So for example, I would like to give some frame for my things. For example, here I don't know which one is horizontal layout, which one is vertical layout. For example, I will go to the layout here. So under this dashboard text, you find now the hierarchy, right? The hierarchy consists of tile and some separate things. Under the tile, let's move to the tile first. You have a vertical containers. This one. You click into the tile. Yeah, they have under this one you have first the vertical container, okay, and you have the horizontal container. So you have the horizontal container here, which is highlighted here, right? This area, and under this horizontal containers, you'll find what you have horizontal containers. First, let's highlight the horizontal container just to make it more clear. As I told you, maybe you will get confused. Make it border, then make it blue. So now this horizontal container is this one. Let's just click the mouse anywhere here just to be able to see it. See, now it's let's make it more solid. I'll click it again here. I'll make it more solid just to make it more clear for just as an example for now. So now you know that this container, including even the vertical one. So that's why under this container, horizontal container, you'll find under the horizontal container, you'll find there is multiple things, right? Tiled, this tile, which is containing the four maps, map, line chart, throughput, and so on. And you'll find again the vertical container, which is the one on the right side here. We can make again this one, but with different color, just to make it clear as well. We give border. I can give it like this one. I give it, for example, let's say red color, and I make it, let's make dashed, and I can make it more thick as well. So now if I click here, you see now it's being highlighted. This is in case you would like to change the format for that part as well. And again, this is the hierarchy. So if you click into the hierarchy, you find tile, you find vertical container. Vertical container, actually, contains the top one. Under this one, having the name, which is the name, this one. This is called vertical container, which contains the name on the top left here. While this table comparison, you'll find table comparison, uh, it's under the tiled one, which is under this already created how say it? Yeah, let's take this one back. It's outside, but it was in the tile itself, but it's outside the horizontal because outside the horizontal container. Because when I drop this one, I drag it outside the horizontal container. So this is actually how you can use this one. You can just use it to quickly format your chart. For example, if you would like to format a specific chart, let's say that you would like also to give under the tile one the map. You would like to give again, let's say any different background. Let's say black or not background. Let's make it again like this one. Let's make it the border. Let's make it black. So, and let's make it, for example, blue, just for information, okay? So now it's just highlighted the chart with a blue, right? So you can keep doing the same for the remaining as well. So this is the main use of the layout. It's just used to organize your data as you wish. So now going back to the dashboard, if you remember, if you go back to this dashboard here, we used to have a separation between the maps, right? Yeah, like here. Just 1 minute. You have this kind of box and this box here, right? And we have again on the top here some names, filters, right? And box in the middle. And they're here with where it comes to the related icons within the objects, as I've highlighted. You have the text here, right? So you can use the text to directly add, drag and drop. For example, I will just drag and drop, and I will need to add a filter here within I'll drag and drop here. Just 1 minute. I need to add it yes, here, on top of the vertical container. I'll write, for example, filters. I will make it bold. I make it 18. Then I will make it as, let's say, in the middle, and I give it any color. Let's say red color. So click OK. See, it's coming now here, right? Make it bold. Now we have it in, as we highlighted in the previous one. We have filters here as well. And again, you can make it with some background as well, as I highlighted before. Going to the layout, you'll find now this one coming here under the vertical, right? Containers. You'll find the filters. You click the filters. You give a border, for example, black one. So now it will be coming as a black filter here. I go back to the dashboard. I click this one here as well. So now see the filter is coming as same as this one as well. And same for the top here. You can just add a text, okay? Text one, but you can just float it one. You can just whatever you want, right? For example, a benchmark template. Okay, I make it bold. I make it 18. I make it, for example, red color. Then I just click on. This is like kind of floating. I click shift. That's why you can put it anywhere you want. For example, I add it. I will keep it here. So this is the second part. And now the part which I would like to highlight here is related to this areas in the middle, right? Which for example, you would like to give some separation between the charts because now it's kind of looks very congested, right? So in this case, this is a use case of the blank one, which is the bottom objects here. So now the blanks, you can just drag and drop. For example, I would like to have something between these two, right? So once I drag and drop, you'll find it's coming in the middle here. So I will just make the small size, the smallest size as much as possible here. Then, for example, this one, to give the separation, you just need, for example, go to again to the layout and the top left here. Remember always, if you'd like to give some colors, then, for example, I will need to give it as a background with gray, for example, like this one. So now we have a separation. So you can keep doing this one. Now we have a separation between these two. So now it's kind of more less congested, and you can keep doing the same for that part. And actually, this is almost all except the last part, which I'm going to highlight. So the last part I would like to tell you, in case if you would like to do um, a dashboard through drag and drop in the charts in the area you would like to have, as you highlighted before, without doing this kind of automatic placement of the images and automatic creation of the dashboard, sorry, the container vertical horizontal. You can just again do the same method which you have done before. I open a new dashboard here, so I'll make this one as again automatic. Okay, then for example I would like to drag and drop this one container here. I just click shift to make it floating. So for example I would like, let's say I had to have 4 containers, so I will just drag and drop another container here as well, and drag another container here as well. Okay, and a drag and drop container, for example, here as well. Okay, and vertical container, for example, in the left side here, right? So this one can be your vertical container, for example, here for the legend or whatever. This can be the manual way, and just give you more flexibility over controlling the information you would like to add where and here and those, so you can keep some spacing and so on. For example, I'll drag and drop now this one into this one, the line chart. I'll drag and drop, for example, the map here. And in this case, you would like to, you find the legend now is coming outside, so you need to drag and drop it within the whatever you want, for example, in the vertical container. Okay, and for example, you drag and drop again within the map, right? So this is the idea, and you can keep doing this manually until you reach into your target. This is in case you would like to have it with a specific size to have more flexibility over controlling the exact spaces of the charts and so on. In case you would like, for example, to add, let's say, more chance and so on. But usually we do the other way around to directly go and drag and drop within the dashboard as we highlighted here. And just the last part, just to have last 2 parts, just to have complete content as I explained in the very beginning, which is related to the last 2 points in the middle and the bottom down here, which is something called tooltips or device type view. Okay, just in case if you're going to publish this one and you would like to know how it will be looks like for the device, if you look into the top here, top left here, this one, default and phone and so on. So let's see what we have here. just to show you. So for example, if you click here in the device preview here, this is will just tell you how your dashboard will looks like when you open from any device. For example, here you have, once you click in device preview here, you'll find this one, device preview is coming now. So if I click here in this default thing, okay, you'll find you have even default desktop, tablet, phone. So for example, desktop probably it will be same as a default one, or even wider. This is telling you how it will looks like. Okay, because yeah, this one. Yeah, and here you can just change the monitor, for example, here, just telling you how it looks like. And you can add this, you can play around with the layout and add whatever you want. And also, for example, tablet, it will tell you how it will looks like. It looks like this one, for example. And remember, and the main idea of this one, because this is in case you are going to publish, so you need to make sure that if it's going to publish, it will be, for example, visible by all devices. Because if you remember the size in the beginning and make it as automatic, right? This one was automatic size. So sometimes automatic maybe will not be very appropriate for what we need. So in this case, maybe you need to give a specific size to match with a specific device, for example, iPad mini, whatever, or for example, iPhone type, for example, specific iPhone type, or whatever you want. And you would like to give a specific image to fit into your phone. So you can just play around with the size and so on, and just uh, uh, keep it fixed for a specific example, let's say for the tablet or desktop or whatever. For the phone, it's already you already have the fixed sizes, but for the others, you can play around with the size and add a desktop layout for this particular device and so on. So let's return back to the default. And the last part is very easy actually. It's about whenever you move your mouse here and you would like to see a specific information. For example, I'm moving here and I would like to see this one, the tooltips here, for example, showing the latitude, longitude, region, site ID, and average, for example, downing through. So for example, I would like to add more information within the layout. So we need to go back to the sheet. And I already explained, sorry, to the tooltip. I explained this one before. So for example, let's assume you would like to add the traffic as an example. You just need to drag and drop whatever metric you would like into the tool tab here. So once you go back, for example, I added this traffic. So once I will go back to the dashboard and I hover over my mouse here, for example, the information, you'll find that it's already added again in the bottom down here as 5G say traffic as I just mentioned. Yeah, so this was the last part of today's video. I hope if you like the contents to press like and share it with your friends and to spread the word. Thank you very much and see you next session about YouTube about Tableau training.